All right, guys, and we're back. I got the audio playing. All right, and I got a viewer already. I wonder if it's Ken Shaloya, my best viewer. All right, I wonder if since I had the audio on for a second with the UFC, if it doubles my own audio. Let me know in the comments below. And we got the Paddy Pimblett versus Jordan Leavitt fight. Should be a great fight. There's some stakes on this fight. The clickbait thumbnail was a picture of Paddy the Baddy mooning the camera. A little bit of a history behind that. Paddy the Baddy blew up like a huge amount of weight, like 50, 60 pounds before this fight. He just said, I'm going to eat and I'm going to eat and I'm going to eat. I'm going to go crazy on the eating. And he did. And then he lost all the weight again to compete in this one. He said he'd rather be fat and happy. And the audio is great. Beautiful, beautiful. And he's walking out now. So after the weigh-ins, he mooned the crowd because all these people were talking smack that he wasn't going to be able to make the weight limit for this fight because he blew up to be so heavy in between the fights. And look at this. He's got some tape over his left elbow. Current weight, that's a good question. I think this is 170, I want to say. I'm pretty sure this is a 170. But I will find out in a second here. There's some high stakes on this fight because Jordan said that he's going to twerk on Paddy the Baddy if he wins, and Paddy the Baddy said that he's going to teabag Jordan if he wins. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen on this one? And we shall see. We shall see. Man, he does look like eyes sunken back, and you can see his cheekbones and stuff. It looks really thin. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He's the former Cage Warriors featherweight champion. And Conor McGregor won, I believe it was Cage Warriors as well before he walked into the UFC. So he's getting the crowd amped up. Jordan, his opponent, had big-time boos when he was walking in. And they're selling Paddy the Baddy wigs where you could put on his hairstyle and wear his hairstyle in on the fight. And Molly is drinking Howlerhead, which is Dana White's liquor company, supporting her big brother. And now he looks like he's all business, not taking his eyes off of his opponent and looking real serious that he's about to get into a fight, which thank goodness, because he looked like he was a partying animal before. So, the tail of the tape should be coming up soon, I think. Yep, here it is. They're both 27 years old. Wow, I'll be 27 in a couple days. 5'10" for Paddy the Baddy, 5'9" for Jordan Leavitt. They're the 155-pound weight class. Interesting. And Paddy the Baddy has a 73-inch reach to Jordan's 71-inch reach. Wow, Paddy the Baddy is really grilling him, looking like he's going to murder him. And Jordan is playing it off like nothing's going on. He looks kind of like he's got an inner nerves situation because this whole arena wants to see him get brutally knocked out and destroyed. And I think this guy is gay, which, whatever floats your boat. But I don't know if there's ever been like an openly gay UFC fighter. He does the splits and stuff when he wins, and he says he's going to twerk on Paddy the Baddy. So, hey, more power to you. More power to you. But Paddy the Baddy is doing the Mike Tyson style face-off here, where he is just looking all business, and looks like he's going to kill this guy. I was watching Jordan's highlights before, and it shows that he has one of the very few slam knockout victories in the UFC where he slams a guy and wins by slam. That could be a dangerous knockout because a lot of times the guy hits the back of his head on the canvas. All right, round number 1. And Paddy the Baddy takes the center of the octagon, really trying to assert his dominance here. Coming in with some front kicks, some flying front kicks. And it looks like he really wants to make this a terrible striking situation for Jordan. Jordan immediately clinches, looking for the takedown. Oh, and a nice trip from Jordan to get Paddy the Baddy down. The thing that most people don't know about Paddy the Baddy is that he actually does have good grappling. And he kind of markets himself more as a striker, but even in his last fight, he won by rear naked choke victory. And it looks like Jordan is going to be using the outside trip as part of his strategy to win this fight. Ooh, and a nice knee from Jordan to Paddy's midsection there. And I like how Jordan is really negating the striking of Paddy and looking to really turn this into a grappling match. Ooh, nice high crotch takedown for Jordan. He's got him up in the air, and he slams him to the floor. Good stuff from Jordan. Looks like this Jordan guy has a very good fight IQ. But he's a little bit caught in a guillotine right now, but he should be safe from how the positioning is. But if Paddy the Baddy gets his legs around him here, this could be a tough spot for Jordan. He's really only got one arm on this, and it's hard to lock up a guillotine properly in this position, especially when, and Jordan escapes. It's hard to trade on strategic way in the beginning and then adjust your leg positioning afterwards to finish it. You can't. Ooh, a nice elbow on the break from Jordan. Oh, and another guillotine attempt from Paddy the Baddy, and Jordan is aware of this, and he jumps to the opposite side. So far, I'm giving this round to Jordan. He seems to be winning the grappling exchanges here and making things difficult for Paddy. He's really making the fight his fight, and it's good to see for him. Oh, and a nice knee to the head from Jordan. And he gets him to the floor, drags him down Khabib style from the backwards body lock. Paddy may sneak in some BJJ. Yes, it looks like he might. But from what I'm seeing here, Dad, it's looking like he doesn't have the advantage in the BJJ department. I mean, anything could happen, but I'd say if there's a chance of a jiu-jitsu victory, it's going to be from Jordan rather than Paddy. But you never know with Paddy. Sometimes he starts out slow and then he has a spectacular victory later. Jordan's got to be careful of. He's in a crazy takedown scramble right now of a. There are triangle variations within the takedown that he was in, but not your standard triangle, inverted triangle type variations. And it's interesting. Paddy did a very good Haragoshi last time, and he seems to try to be setting that takedown up again. And they break the clinch. Jordan throws a nice big front kick, and he turns it back into a grappling match. Paddy going in for a big guillotine. Ooh, this looks tight. This looks really tight. My dad might have called this. Oh, my goodness, and he escapes the guillotine. That was a tight guillotine. Whew, damn, that was close. And Paddy lands on top in top side control. And this is not looking good. He's starting to take the back. He puts one hook in. 4 seconds left in the round. That's a tough one. Oh, and time. He might have had one shot in there for an extra second past the bell. But man, a crazy first round. Crazy, crazy first round. I guess I got to give it to Jordan, even though Paddy really ended that round strong. But man, that guillotine was looking tight. It was looking tight. But it seems like Jordan has really good guillotine defense in that he doesn't have much to worry about in the guillotine department. I don't know. Anything could happen, though, as they say. Anything could happen. We're going to go into round 2. And in my opinion, this should have been higher up in the card. Maybe main event or co-main event. It's kind of crazy that they put it in as the third fight. But a lot of times they don't like to give new fighters, and when I say new, I mean new in the UFC, the co-main or main event slot. I think this is Paddy's like second or third fight in the UFC, so he's still a little bit new to the promotion, and they want to kind of bring him up slowly. All right, it's round 2. Round 2. Let's see here. They both go out. Paddy starting off with some hard strikes and a front kick to the stomach. Oof. A nice hook from Paddy makes Jordan a little bit wobbly, but Jordan really keeping the distance with his strikes. I'm a fan of Jordan's style, you know. I like the way that he makes the fight his fight, but you can never obviously count out both of these guys, Paddy the Baddy, with an incredibly exciting style and many comeback victories. Jordan keeping him away with front kicks and wants to keep him at a range where he's all the way out or all the way in. Yep, there he goes, all the way in and into a single leg. Throws him up against the fence. Goes for the double leg. And Paddy the Baddy is probably looking for this Harai Goshi that he did in this last fight, which is a nice judo takedown where you have an overhook. And he seems to try to be setting that up again in this one, but Jordan seems kind of aware of what's going on. Jordan looking for the double leg off of the fence. It's tough to connect your hands when you're using the fence to your advantage like that. Oh, Paddy the Baddy went for that Harai Goshi attempt, but Jordan was wise to it, like I was just saying. And they're in an under-over clinch against the fence. And Jordan's really making this his kind of fight. And Paddy the Baddy going for some crazy side choke with the like an arm inside rear naked choke kind of variation thing. Something I haven't seen. And it's enough to get Jordan down and have Paddy take his back. That's some crazy stuff right there. It was a weird rear naked choke variation where you're on the side. Oh, and he has one arm trapped while on the back. This is a good situation for Paddy the Baddy. One arm trapped to do your rear naked chokes make them so much easier, and it's nice to see someone finally using this as an effective method for back attacks in the UFC. But Paddy's being a little bit precarious with his arm position. Yep, here we go, rear naked choke. Paddy gets his chin over his top arm and he taps, and that's it. Paddy the Baddy wins. Like I said, you trap that arm. Oh, and he goes to try to teabag him. That's rough. That's rough. And then they hug. Wow. So when you trap the arm, guys, on the back, then your percentage chance of you actually getting the rear naked strangle goes up majorly, and it's great to see Paddy actually understand this and then do this. Most UFC fighters don't do this, therefore they don't get the rear naked strangle. So good for him in properly finishing the rear naked strangle. If you want, guys, I have a Bjjfanatics instructional all about this, the highest percentage, the best methods of finishing the rear naked strangle. included in there is the variation that Paddy the Baddy just used to win this UFC fight. And I explain how you want to make it a scenario where when you've trapped an arm, now you can make it so that he has no hands to defend the rear naked strangle with. And you have an easy victory right there. My dad said, am I right or am I right? You were right. You were right. Paddy the Baddy snuck in some BJJ. He snuck it in. Great rear naked choke. And even though it wasn't behind the head fully, Paddy puts his chin over his own arm, which suffices in making it too difficult for you to peel the hands back over the head. A great little detail in your rear naked strangles. One thing that people should be doing more too to get the clean rear naked strangle in the back here is if the gloves are impeding you from being able to get this hand back here, you got to use the arm that you're strangling with to bring the guy forward a bit, and then with the space that you create, then you could slide the second hand in, or you could go here and you could move your upper body back and then throw your elbow over your hand and then lock it up instantly as a rear naked strangle. So that was really his plan all the time. Yep, he markets himself as a striker, but he actually always finishes with jiu-jitsu. Rear naked choke victory this time and last time. So a great, great fight. Michael Bisping is interviewing him. You did it again. And he said, this is how I get down. Yes, my dad says he sells it with hard striking to begin with. That's the truth. And Paddy shows the twerking that he did after the fight. You know, the fight performance was impressive. I love that he trapped the arm to do the rear naked strangle. People should do this more. It shows that he has an evolution. There's an evolution in the game going on, and that he knows how to finish on the back. Aljamain Sterling, the bantamweight champion, who's 135 pounds, man, he just gets the back and then he just stays on the back. And then the next round, he's got to do it all over again. But if he took a lesson from this fight, he would be able to trap the arm and finish more people in the back, just like Paddy did here. So congrats to Paddy, and wait to stay with it on the most updated versions of the rear naked strangle. My dad says, then it's BJJ to close it. Yep, that's a great way to do it. It's a great way to do it. You know, but it's tough to have all the dimensions, you know? The dimensions of striking and the dimensions of grappling. It's tough to have skills everywhere, but if you want to be the best, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Oof. Paddy's sharing some tough stuff here. He's saying he got a message that one of his friends killed himself, Ricky, and that's for you. And he's dedicating that fight to his friend Ricky. And he says there's a stigma in this world that men can't talk. Listen, if you're a man and you got a weight on your shoulders and you think the only way you can solve it is by killing yourself, please speak to someone. Speak to anyone. I know I'd rather have me mate cry on my shoulder than go to his funeral next week. Oof. A nice message from Paddy the Baddy, a true message. And Michael Bisping says, beautiful words, Paddy. When can we see you back here again? He said, you will see me again before the end of the year. Trust me. And Michael Bisping says, we can't wait for it. So a great night for Paddy and his sister. 2 more impressive victories. And guys, over 50% of the submission victories in the and the emotions just hit him, and he gets down in the middle of the octagon and starts crying. I'm assuming about his friend. That's sad. That's sad that his friend died. But over 50% of the submissions in the UFC are rear naked strangles. So to not get good at that maneuver is just ridiculous. And Paddy the Baddy is crying his eyes out. That's tough. That's tough that his friend killed himself. That's unfortunate. Man. They're just saying in the commentary that to be able to trap the arm like that against a jiu-jitsu ace is difficult. But man, that's what you got to do if you really want that rear naked strangle finish. I mean, if you're fighting both arms with both arms, it's not going to. It's going to be a fair fight, and jiu-jitsu is all about making the fight not fair. And the way he got there was fascinating too. It was on some weird rear naked side choke thing. All right. Well, I think I'm going to end this live, and I will be back for the co-main and main event. Thank you, guys.